All right, our next section that we are going to be working on involve matrices. That's multiple. When we have a matrix, more than one matrix, we have matrices. And I know that you address those and work with those in Algebra 1. It's a collection of data in an array. And we have an array that looks something like this. That's a way that they could look. Or they could look something like this. And we identify them through terms like a 3x2 array, meaning how many rows there are by how many columns there are. So in something like this, we have 3 rows and 2 columns, so it's a 3x2 matrix. A 1x4 would be something that looks like this, and I've popped in some variables to indicate that. So that's kind of how we identify a matrix, is by how many rows by how many columns there are. So we can do some different operations with them, and in this video we're going to do add and subtract and scalar. Those are going to be what we do on this. I'll do add and subtract first. They are the easiest if you remember from Algebra 1. I have a 2x2 matrix, and I have a 2x2 matrix. If the matrices are the same rows, same columns, we can add or subtract them. So if we were going to add them, we could add this matrix to this matrix. Our answer will be, all we do is add the corresponding numbers. Meaning top left plus top left, 14. Top right plus top right, 17. Bottom left plus bottom left will give us 0. 3 plus -3, and then -2 plus 4 is 2. And that would be the answer to this matrix plus this matrix. And it's going to be a matrix that is the same size as the other ones. So that's pretty easy to handle, and you guys should be good on those. Subtraction is similar, except we subtract. So, if it was a subtraction, 8 minus 6, 7 minus 10, 3 minus -3 gives us +6, -2 minus 4, -6. So add and subtract ones are pretty easy. You've got one like that on any quiz, midterm, final, things like that, to be able to add and subtract them that way. The final piece that we're going to look at is called scalar multiplication. This is not multiplying the matrices together. That's our next video, that's our next piece once we've worked on the calculator to multiply this times this. We'll do those at a later time in class together. But what we can do here is, we can do this. What if this matrix was multiplied by a number on the outside, like 5. So 5 times this. And as you can imagine, I'm guessing, if you had to pick a way to do this, 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times -3 is -15, 50, and 20. So that's our scalar. When we multiply a whole number, or it could be a fraction, this could have been a half. I'll do one with a fraction because you might see one like that. If this was a half times this, half of 6 is 3, half of that, and then -3 halves for that one. Okay, so that's scalar. Add and subtract are pretty easy. The work that we do in class, we're only going to use half of the next class to work on these because it should be really, really easy. I want to do that pretty quickly. and then move into multiplication of matrices and how we do those. Because that's a lot more complex, and it involves using the calculator. All right, thank you very much.